Simulated here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we're going ahead and doing a speed build renovation challenge battle extravaganza video. So if you hadn't noticed already, about once a month I go ahead and do a pretty cool build, in my opinion, that is a bit of a renovation battle with a couple of different simmers, and each time we're doing different lots that are well known to the Sims. They have done some ones in the past I didn't join in on, but we went ahead and, for example, did the Goth residence. We went ahead and did, what was the other one we did? Oh, the Willow Creek Library. Like any classic thing you can think of where you're like, yeah, I know what that looks like. And also you might think, yeah, and it kind of sucks a little bit. Like it can use some renovating. Yeah, we've renovated it. So, or we're planning on renovating it. So I think one of the most renowned restaurants that came with the Sims 4 Dine Out, which is where active restaurants were introduced to the Sims 4, is the Chez Llama building. Chez Llama, I'm not quite sure. But it is this one. I feel like definitely this was the one that brought the most attraction, the one I was definitely the most interested in by looking at it off of the gallery library page and from the little promotional videos and live streams and whatnot. I think a lot of the other restaurants are really great, but I feel like none of them are as iconic as this one. Like when you think of Chez Llama, you can come up with this picture in your head. Whereas if I were to tell you some of the other names, you might be kind of like, oh, I can vaguely see it. But this one is really recognizable for its split level dining area. And it's also got these high ceilings with the openness and just a lot of awkward choices that make it feel really cramped yet so open. So my goal was to go ahead and renovate this to make it feel a lot more luxurious and like somewhere you'd want to come with your family and friends for a nice night out. So as a part of this renovation battle, I'm going to go ahead and read to you the rules and guidelines. So, Chez Llama renovation. The Chez Llama restaurant has been the bougie spot for go-to fine dining. This was until a patron found a rat tail in their soup. The owner has decided to renovate and give it an industrial vibe to compete with other restaurants, and she has enlisted in your help. So before I read on, I want to sort of touch on how I tried to sort of bloop that in here, there, and everywhere. I tried to make it kind of like a modern industrial vibe because this restaurant already had some kind of modern traditional aspects, and so I felt like the modern worked kind of really well, like the cleanness, the light, the openness, and I think that the open beams above really fits that industrial, but also just things like adding in those little mats behind the bars and stuff like that, adding in areas that are segregated for employees only. I feel like that makes it feel more industrial. And I think the biggest industrial piece for me that just screams I'm an industrial build is that one wall texture that I use, the red brick wall texture. That is industrial. If there's anything in The Sims 4 that's industrial, it's that wallpaper. And I also tried to implement it in some of the color tones, making them a bit more earthy and I don't know, when I think industrial, I think kind of manly, masculine, a bit less feminine, a bit more masculine tones and colors and textures. And yeah, so that's what I was trying to achieve, a bit more of a masculine restaurant rather than a flowery, dainty restaurant, if that makes sense. And also just with the instruments, before I think they had a grand piano, but I thought if this was more of an industrial modern restaurant, they wouldn't have just a grand piano. They might have a keyboard and a guitar and a microphone where people could come and sing and bands could perform. And yeah, just little things like that. Also above, we sort of have some more industrial Australian pub type games upstairs because one of the later rules says that we need to add some activities, but I'll get to that in just a second. So the rules are that we must keep the shape of the build, but we can add /change /remove the windows, doors, fences, gates, landscaping, and staircases. Smiley face. The build must adhere to the lot code of a restaurant. It must have a smiley face, and the build must include a bar and an activity game, parentheses, games. And we can't use vampires or my first pet stuff. Funny story, I actually uploaded this to the gallery and then went, snap, I used one of the packs I couldn't use. And I'd accidentally used my first pet stuff. And it turns out it was the blinds. I swear my first pet stuff, the blinds are the only thing from that pack that I could use on accident and be like, snap, I didn't realize that was my first pet stuff. But yeah, so I had to go ahead and swap them out. So if you see the different blinds in the screenshots and the build byte, that's why, because I wasn't allowed to use them, but I did. I was naughty. So yeah, upstairs we have our games that you'll see later on. We just have like a foosball table, some cards, darts, stuff like that, which I thought was kind of industrial as well. Like, I don't know, just like once again, like masculine style games. Not that girls can't play those games, of course they can. Like masculine and feminine doesn't equal male and female. Does that make sense? So not like female or male, but masculine, like more masculine, like musty, like exposed brick and open floor plans. Oh, now that I'm thinking back, I wish that I changed that rope fencing. I might change it. I hope I did, because I don't really like that. By the stage, I can't recall if I changed it or not. I did, thank God. Okay, good. I was like, that's kind of ugly. It's not that it's ugly, it's just it doesn't really go with my vibe, because I was going for more like blacks and silvers, because for me, industrial is like blacks for like beams and steel and stuff, and then you'd have the silver for like pipes and exposed like exhaust and stuff. I don't know. That's what I imagine, whereas gold is a bit more fancy pants. So anyway, I definitely went ahead and adhered to all of that rules. I hope so. Let me know if you think I didn't. But I'm pretty sure I did a pretty good job of that. I had a fireplace. I feel like I could have made the fireplace a bit more of a focal point, but I tried to make it in a sort of area where it would make sense to like heat up the room, if that makes sense. And where it would make sense that it could like access the exhaust chimney thing, because it's like a gas fireplace, so it doesn't need a chimney. Anyway, so the deadline for voting is, or anyway, the renovations are going up today, July 20th at 12 p.m. EST, right now when you're watching this, or, you know, in the past if you're watching this in the future. And once the videos are released, a poll will go up and everyone will vote on the best restaurant. Anyone can vote, but the voting will end on July 30th. The winner will be announced around that time. Havana will be going ahead and touring all the renovations on Twitch today, on July 20th at 2 p.m. EST, so 2 hours after this video goes live. And we're using the hashtag Chez Llama Reno on the gallery. So if you're looking for any of these builds, you can go ahead and type in that little hashtag and it will come up, or you can just look for the users for each of their username for their gallery, and some of them might link it in their videos. But yeah, definitely go ahead and check out everyone's videos. All the links you need will be down below, but I'm just going to go ahead and read out the members of the Twitter group, because there have been some people that have dropped out, but I know some of them tried really hard or like really wanted to be a part or whatnot, so I'm just going to read everyone in the group like I usually do, and then the videos will be linked in the playlist down below. So if anyone I mentioned doesn't have videos in the playlist, it might be because something unexpected came up and they couldn't finish it, or maybe they're just putting it up a little bit later, or maybe they had to drop out for whatever reason. So we of course have Havana Sims, the lovely simmer who goes ahead and organizes this all for us and comes up with the challenges and the rules and all that good stuff. Carrie Plays, Key Red, Melanin Sims 2000, Sharagon, Hip Hip Renee, Bethany Ray, Bubbly Zen, Bethany Ray is B Ray Sunny if you didn't know, Sam's Sugar, Maple Simmer, Hazy Simmer, and Sim Imaginative, Ashura Sims, myself, and Sweet Pea Sims. We also have Lilac Lydia Deets and Xnor Sims in the group chat, but like I said, some of them might not be doing videos, I don't quite remember, but definitely go ahead and check them all out regardless. They're all amazing people, even if they didn't enter this battle. But I think one of the biggest things that I hated from this build was the windows that they had for the kitchen. I feel like it's kind of cool to have some windows, but the windows they had just didn't make sense, and it kind of made it feel really awkward. It made it feel like if you're going to have windows like that, don't have a wall at all. You know what I mean? Like just do a half wall. So I tried to sort of compromise and do like sort of like aquarium, like fishbowl windows to sort of bring back in that quirky modern vibe, because the kitchen is quite industrial and modern, whereas that sort of brings back more of the like build's original contemporary vibe. So I tried to keep that in by using a lot of brown textures. I feel like brown isn't too common in industrial, especially dark brown. I feel like in industrial builds, you're more likely to see light browns. But I thought that the dark brown worked well at sort of keeping a mix between the industrial vibe and the old contemporary vibe. And I think it works really well. I don't usually use browns. Usually I'd be the first person to jump to changing all the doors and windows to be black or white or grey. But this time I went for something different. I did a brown texture. So I think it's really snazzy. I feel like I would definitely go to eat here And I feel like this is the kind of place where it would get really loud really quick. Like when you go here, it would always just be so vibrant. And yeah, I tried to also do some green throughout. The sort of central theme of the Chez Llama is green because I thought like llamas, they eat grass, right? Like, I don't know, I just felt like green was appropriate to bring in that llama vibe because it is a fancy fine dining restaurant and it has got that industrial modern vibe. So I felt like it would be kind of inappropriate to do like just all black and white because how are you getting your llama in otherwise? That I got my llama in through the green. But anyway, here are these screenshots. I think it looks really, really snazzy. I think that I did a pretty good job. I'm really liking it. I feel like the booth area and the dining area have improved so much, and the upstairs area as well. I think before in the upstairs area there was more seating or something, but it was just so awkward. So I decided to have the upstairs area be an area for games and like competitions, like playing darts and foosball and having card tournaments and stuff. And you can also eat out on the outside deck when it's a nice day, or like maybe you're sitting out there on the deck and your friends are in there playing and you're sort of like going backwards and forwards and playing games and having some snacks and stuff. Downstairs when you walk in is the bar. It's sort of there as if you would sort of wait at the bar first by the nice warm fireplace and then head into the dining area once a table was free or once it was time for your booking, and you'd listen to the live band play while you're doing it. And I really liked the exposed kitchen. I just think it needed some work. So I just fixed up a couple of things, but most of the kitchen is pretty intact because I feel like that's pretty realistic. Like if you're renovating a restaurant, you're probably not going to change the kitchen too much. It's more the weather patrons actually are. But anyway, we're nearing the end of this speed build. I hope my voice wasn't too raspy. I've actually been unwell this week, so I hope my voice sounds okay. If it sounded weird, that's probably why I haven't really spoken in like 2 days. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I hope you enjoyed it. Please vote for me if you like my build, and please check out the playlist down below of everyone else's videos. Until next time, I hope you'll have a very snazzy day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye guys!